Hello, and welcome to the Peace of Mind podcast, where peace was never an option. I'm your host, Fiend, and this is my co host, Zay.
Hello, it's me. You might know us from other great ventures such as uh, YouTube.
Pretty
The
well,
same
good
YouTube
description
channel
of it.
that this is the same YouTube channel that this is going to normally get posted on unless we, decide that it's going to go other places.
It depends how it goes, starting episode, we just
Yeah.
gotta see where this leads.
This is the pilot. Speaking
Basically,
of pilots, I think we have an interesting topic we're going to go for today, but we should start off with a little casual conversation.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Fiend? How you
uh,
handling?
well, I've been pretty good, besides a pretty rude awakening by a certain co host that doesn't ever want to give a guy a warning when they're going to try to call them while they're just chilling in bed and snacking on some popcorn, watching some videos, eating cookies.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah, basically. How about
Yeah.
yourself?
I doing pretty all right. Got up and ran an errand, got some food, and then came home and decided to give my co-host a heart attack, and it was hilarious. Y'all you should have seen it. You should have heard the reaction.
Yeah, you really should have.
It yeah, you done vacuuming up all that popcorn?
Well, luckily for you, I had finished it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Speaking of, did you know there's like a neat little like hack you can do with popcorn bags? Like this is crazy, it's weird and it's random, but like you know how when you get the popcorn bag and there's like the small slit on top that's like already partially opened?
Yeah.
Have you ever just like not opened it and shook the bag so that way the kernels will slip out but the popcorn stays in?
So actually, yeah, like that's been circulating around the internet for a bit too.
It's
I
weird, but
th-
it works.
And I think that might actually be the intended purpose, like one of the intended purposes of that slit.
Well, I mean, for the most part, it's used to vent, but yeah, like I believe it.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of venting, but I also, can be used to shake out popcorn
This is
kernels.
going on YouTube.
I mean, perfect, perfect.
Hi, YouTube lady. We swear we're not swearing.
Yet, no, I don't actually eat a whole lot of popcorn. I don't know why. It just
It's a
I
some like I kind of learned that like for me with popcorn, it's like I can't do buttered. Buttered just makes it wet. It makes it just slippery and it messes with my finger. It's like I just like dry popcorn. Put some salt on that.
what's really good though is they actually have those like popcorn seasonings. That you can get like, and those
Yes.
are really good. Um,
Oh my god, I love the white cheddar ones. They are just so good.
yeah, and like I mean, if you want some butter, like if you do want butter, you can do like light butter flavoring of some sort, or you could actually just do like a buttered
I
flavored powder.
I will say when I was a kid and even now whenever I go to a theater, if they have the yellow salt for popcorn, I am dumping that stuff on my popcorn cuz
Yellow salt.
yes, it's like a yellow salt. It has a bit more of a sting to it. But it's so good.
Is that because it's made from bees?
If we're lucky.
Huh. I really like I really like caramel popcorn.
See, I never could get into the sweet. Well, I say that I'm not a big sweet popcorn person, but if it's a popcorn ball, I'm all for.
Well, like those big like tins that they make for Christmas and stuff, and they usually have like
Yes,
just give me the fucking. I just want the caramel
I
of that
gladly
more
would
than
because every time we got those at Christmas, that was the one bin that would never get touched. I would steal all the cheddar corn, and some weirdo would just take the regular stuff. No one touched the caramel.
that's weird. That's my favorite one. But at the same time, I mean, you could just go buy caramel popcorn.
I mean, you can make it. Like that's the best version to have popcorn is if you have a popcorn mixer. That makes the best best popcorn.
Here's the weird thing about me is I've noticed over the last like forever. Um, if somebody specifically asks me, "Hey, do you want popcorn?" I'll generally be like, "Nah, I'm okay."
Right.
Um, I'll never sit at home and just be like, man, I want some popcorn.
I
But
mean,
if somebody sits down next to me with the thing of popcorn, I will jump into that.
so the only time you'll eat popcorn is when you're being a mooch.
It's just it's like I don't crave popcorn. I don't think, oh man, I just really want popcorn right now. And it's not because I don't like popcorn. It's just for some reason I just if somebody asks me if I want it, usually my default answer is just like, nah, I'm okay. But if they sit down next to me with popcorn, like if they just make popcorn and come sit next to me, expecting me to eat it, then I will.
And I mean, it also doesn't help, like, if you go to the theater and everything, like, I don't get, I don't like popcorn sizes. It drives me insane because,
It's either tiny, uh, semi-normal size, or kid size. And by that, I mean the size of a kid.
yeah, like, you either get the small thimble of popcorn where you'll get like two handfuls out of, then you'll get the large that they call medium, and then they'll get the who is actually finishing this.
Which for that I have to say that that's a joke I stole from Parks and Rec. They were like, I thought you said that the sodas were kid sized, and they're like, yeah, they're the size of kids.
And the thing that irritates me with that size of popcorn, that's the only size that they'll give you a refill on for free. Who in the hell is eating that much popcorn over the amount of 2 to 3 hours?
I think generally it's meant for like people that go like usually with a couple people and they all share popcorn, so they just get like the bucket of popcorn.
But even then, it's like, who is like going through finishing this entire bucket and then deciding, you know what? We can go for round two. It's like,
Okay, so a lot of the times too, though, if you get those buckets, they're not meant to just for that. They're not meant to like get a refill that day. They're actually meant for like you come back in with that bucket, and they refill it for cheaper.
see, that just seems weird to me. Like, someone leaves the movie, they come back about a week later, and they still have that buttery empty bucket they hold
No,
on
no,
to.
no, no. You take the bucket home. You take your bucket home and you wash it, and then you come back with it.
Why
Like
would
it's your bucket, and a lot of movie theaters will like have like collector's bucket. Like
Well, yeah, the collector's one that makes sense, but I'm just picturing like the cardboard buckets.
no, not those. Yeah, not those. I'm talking about like, I mean, yeah, that's a thing. But nowadays, a lot of new movie theaters instead will do like the buckets, and you get like the bucket, and then for like a year after you get the bucket, you get cheap refills instead of like
And that makes sense. Like
paying
that
like
I
eight
can
dollars
understand.
for yeah, instead of paying like $8 for a thing of popcorn, you pay like $1.50 and you get your thing refilled.
And I will also say movie popcorn hits way differently than microwave popcorn. It is a whole different hit.
So
But
yeah, I
and
mean yeah, because it's microwave, but you can actually just buy like popcorn machines,
yeah.
and that's what my younger sister and also my mom and my stepdad actually have a popcorn popper that's not like it's not like the glass like stand up thing. It's actually just like a little machine that they can put it in, and it makes the popcorn,
Yeah.
and there's also a bowl.
Well, it also helps that like with movie theaters, because I used to work at one. It was the best job I've ever had. And what they would do is they would pour in some oil in the popper, and then there was
Mhm.
also a seasoning they would add into it as well. And that
Yeah.
would just also give the popcorn its color and its different flavor. And yeah, it just hits a lot. But even then, I'm on a tangent about popcorn at the movie. I hardly ever get popcorn at the movies because, for the most part, I'll just get a soda. Sometimes I'll get a thing of candy, but most of the time, if they have like food items, I'm not gonna get popcorn because if I'm gonna be here for this long at this time, it's gonna be my lunch. So I want something that feels like a lunch.
It has been so long since I've been to a movie theater that does not have some kind of just food. Either you order it in the theater, or they actually like have a whole like setup outside of the theater, like outside of the like after you get your tickets and stuff, between your tickets and the actual like theater itself. there's actually like a whole like food setup, and you go and it's almost like a little market.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's either that or you order everything at your seat, and those.
Oh, those
So
are
like,
the
and
best.
I cannot remember the last time I've been to a movie theater at this point that's not like that.
Oh, I would love to go to a theater like that again because I miss that getting to have like a full on ice cream sundae while you're just watching God knows what on the screen.
I mean, we used when we lived together. We were right next to one,
Yeah.
and that was pretty great.
Oh, that was such a good. I miss that place so bad.
Yeah, it's it's nice, and some of them have really good food, and it really.
Yeah.
But I've been to ones that have been like, man, I just can't decide. Like all of this just seems like either too expensive, or
Well,
like
that's how they get you.
it's either been hit or miss. On like, this is either like too expensive or like not enough, or you know,
And
or
I
it's
will
just
say the funniest one I've seen is like I went to the theater that it felt so nice. It just felt like rustic and everything. And they had your regular stuff, your candy, popcorn, and soda. Then they also had beer.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but having people drink at a theater terrifies me.
Well, if you remember too, the one that the first one like that I ever that is the one I
Yeah.
took you to when I saw Doctor Strange. It not only was like order food, but it actually was a brewery. Like they actually did make their own beer at the theater.
I just would not want to be in a theater with like a drunk group of people. That would be probably the most irritating thing ever.
Uh, I mean like that one that we went to that we went to all.
Yeah,
I
that
used
one was
to go all the
chill.
time, and that I mean again it's a brewery. People go there and drink a lot, but they don't go there and get drunk. They go there and like maybe have a couple drinks,
Yeah,
and then they're good.
because like I've heard stories of like people getting absolutely blasted, and then they're going into a horror film, and just like laughing and yelling the whole time. It's like, oh my god, that would drive me nuts.
You're gonna get that any theater though. Like
Oh,
people
for
will
sure.
people will pregame for the movie. It's like, oh fuck yeah, we're going to see fucking Grease. Let's get fucking toasted.
You joke about that, but there's a theater nearby that's going to be doing a Grease sing along soon.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of theaters do that, and people fucking like
I
love it.
love that idea. That sounds so fun.
I actually saw recently a video of somebody talking about like a theater that he worked at, and he said a lot. Like their theater also did like the retro things and stuff, and they would ask the people like they would ask like on like their Facebook group and stuff like, hey, what movies would you want us to bring back? And people would always vote for things like, oh yeah, Terminator and stuff like that. But they would be like, okay, and then they'd bring something like that, and then people would just not show up. Like, it got a lot of votes. People just seemed excited. They brought it, and they didn't. Nobody showed up. But he's like, but the ones that really like actually hit are the interactive ones, the ones that you like set up like the sing-alongs,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the ones where like people are encouraged to actually like talk and joke and stuff during it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's why I
So-
like sort of like the riff tracks style of things where it's like, this is a movie where everybody is going to make comments about it. So we're just going to have fun.
yeah. Speaking of the RiffTrex video game,
Yeah.
is that gonna be like Jackbox?
It is. It is exactly like Jackbox. Where it's
Okay.
basically like it's a game where you get a clip from this bad movie and you write a line to riff on it. It's something. It's simple.
There's another game like that on Steam that I actually was really wanting to grab, but we need a group for it, and we'd have to actually gather some people for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the. I love riff tracks. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean they were the original MST3K guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, like
the only one I actually really watched though, and I know a lot of them are really good. I just haven't had the opportunity to sit and watch many of those. But the one that I really liked, the only one I really saw was they got Weird Al to join them for Jurassic Park,
oh my god.
and that was pretty great.
I mean, usually if it's Weird Al's involved, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean Weird Al's. I'm excited for the Weird Al movie.
it just amazes me because it's like the dude looks like he's in his 30s.
Well, I mean, yeah, the whole movie is is like it's not. I mean, it's not real.
Well, yeah.
Like it's not based on the real story of Weird Al. It's a funny it's a funny story about Weird Al's career, but none of it's true. Like none of it's the true story.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely excited about that.
Yeah, like he has a great sense of humor. He's just Weird Al is awesome. He's a great
Weird
dude.
Al, Weird Al is a purity that this world does not deserve, but it
really.
I love that man, and I have been a fan of his since early childhood.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
My friends and I discovered him with Bad Hair Day.
I don't think I've seen that.
It was his it was one of his albums.
Oh.
We discovered him with Bad Hair Day, and I was like, oh man, and I told my dad, I'm like, oh man, do you know about Weird Al? And he's like, oh yeah, it was like I remember him from like the Dr. Demento radio show, and I'm like, oh cool. And then I had another friend that was like, oh yeah, like I have his older CDs too. I'm like, oh that's awesome. And so like my friend introduced me to like his older stuff, and we had some of his stuff on me and my friends had some of his stuff on CD and like on cassette and like all sorts. And, like we just were, in love with Weird Al and still are to this day.
Yeah, like he's honed his craft. He's just good. He's just really really good.
You know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good sum up of our past few days.
And past life.
Well, yeah. Talking about popcorn movies, and why don't we cut to a whole different form of entertainment from our past and currentness?
Our past currentness.
So,
are you talking about a little something that started in the early 2000s?
Yeah, something that as youths, we would always tell our parents, "Oh, we're going to bed. We're totally going to be in bed. Don't come check up on us." And then we turn the TV onto a specific little channel.
Well, it's a little bit different for me. We would I mean, I was older.
Well, yeah.
We'd specifically be like, yeah, we have to stay up. We have to watch. I'm gonna give it away here. We specifically were like, we have to stay up and watch Space Ghost.
Like, basically where we're going with this is we're doing our first episode here to talk about a little channel block that we're both a big fan of. We're gonna talk a little bit about Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
So, I want to say this, I was younger when Adult Swim appeared, and I had a TV in my room. So usually it would just play cartoons or infomercials whenever that time clock hit. Then 2001 hit, and this appeared, and I saw it said, "Oh, it's adults only." It's like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble if I'm caught watching this. And the irony of it all is considering the first few shows this bump had, it was so tame.
Yeah. No, specifically we would stay up and watch Space Ghost and loved the ever living crap out of Space Ghost, coast to coast.
That show is just, it's fun because it seems like it's improv, isn't it? Or is it just literally okay, we have a script, but we didn't tell the celebrities what's going on?
I actually don't know. I never researched it because I never wanted to break the magic of that show.
Yeah.
And
it was just funny as hell whenever you see an episode and it's just Space Ghost, Zorak, and Moltar just going at each other's throats. Meanwhile, it'll just cut. No, wait, no. It's always Zorak and Space Ghost. And Moltar is just trying to keep the guest entertained while it's all happening.
Yeah, Well, I mean, and I still quote that show to this day on a regular basis. Like one quote that I still say often is, "You don't know from fun." It's just, I anytime somebody's just like, "Oh, I mean, that doesn't sound that great," I'll be like, "Well, you don't know from fun," or just something. Anytime I can throw that in, because I love silly broken English.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Space Ghost Coast to Coast didn't have Brack, right?
No, Brack was on Cartoon Planet.
That's it. That was basically like the kids' version of Coast to Coast.
Right, and funny thing was Cartoon Planet even on? I don't think Cartoon Planet was on.
It wasn't on Adult Swim. It was just on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, but the Brack Show.
Yes.
Or was on Adult Swim.
The Brack Show, I've actually been rewatching a little bit of it recently, and some of those jokes hit more funnier than they used to.
I need to watch that again. That was great.
Like, anything involving Brack's dad is some of the funniest stuff.
Yeah, my dad also loved the Brack Show. My dad was weird though. My dad, I love my dad. He loved watching Adult Swim as well.
Right.
So we'd watch it together a lot of times, but it was just his favorite ones. Some of his favorite ones, I just was like, really? That's your favorite? Oh.
But the Brack Show had Thundercleese.
No, I love the Brack Show, but I specifically remember my dad loving, and this wasn't until like maybe mid Adult Swim, its existence, but my dad loved Assy McGee.
Oh my god.
He thought Assy McGee was the funniest thing.
I couldn't stand that show.
I couldn't either, but my dad loved it.
Like, I couldn't stand Assy McGee because all of the jokes were the most predictable jokes that they could make. And not only that, there was a joke they would play in every episode. I never understood it. I never got the joke. And that's in the middle of the episode, he would do a fucking car commercial. And
I don't even remember that.
yeah, like, it was just a random car commercial in every episode.
I also just again never really watched much Assy McGee because I didn't enjoy it nearly as much.
Like, the most I remember from that portion is basically he in the commercial he shoots his partner's head off and then he rolls on by saying, "Don't make me run your ass over." Like, that's all I remember, but god, I hated that show.
Yeah.
But oh, go ahead.
It was never one of my favorites.
You want to know what one of mine was, like, while we're talking about like the early era of Adult Swim?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on home movies?
I thought it was okay when I was younger. I thought, oh, this is all right, but when I got older, I appreciated it a lot more.
I love home movies. Because, I mean, if you need any proof home movies is good, Coach McGurk. My God, anything with Coach McGurk.
Again, that was one of those ones that like I liked. I didn't hate it or anything. I watched it, but I didn't like truly appreciate it till I was a little bit older as well.
Because I remember some of the jokes they did, like when he's apparently tutoring Brendan, and like Brendan saying that he can't get tutored by him anymore, and just like
that was Sorry, continue.
And like he's just yelling at him this whole time. And he's just like, "Fine, I guess you can't tell me who wrote the Gettysburg Address." "Oh yes, I can." "Oh really? Who?" "Nixon." Correct.
But no, that was the genius voice actor of H. John Benjamin, isn't it?
Yes.
Fucking love
And the
that.
funny thing is, like, when you look at all the characters and who they're voiced by, all their names match up to who their actors are. Because Brendan Small was Brendan. You had him as John. Like, every character's name was a part of the actor's name, except for Brendan's mom. because she was originally voiced by, I think it was Paula Anderson, and they replaced her after her first few episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and oh my god, I love the show so much just because of those random moments when the joke would hit so good. And plus, it was a lot of improv. Like, you could see the moments where it's just like, these are just a few guys in the studio just rambling.
I think it might have been because it started off on UPN, didn't it?
Yes.
And moved over, so it may maybe I don't actually know, but if they changed the voice actress, maybe it actually had something to do with that.
I think it was because there was like I think it only had like 4 or 5 episodes confirmed on UPN, and for Paula, like, she had other things planned, so she just couldn't make schedule, so they had to replace her. And
Yeah.
oh my god, some of the jokes that show has is just, it's such a calm tone, so when a joke really hits, it's just unexpectedly great.
Right. Also, I do want to mention too as we go into this, there is a lot of controversy about a lot of the creators of a lot of
Oh yeah.
yeah, well, a lot of the creators of a lot of Adult Swim shows and stuff like that. And I for one believe that, those people deserve to get karma.
Right, but
But
it's
but
one of
I want
those.
to go. We're going into this to just talking to it as like your experience watching it as a kid and stuff like that. So we're not going to actually get into too much of that.
Yeah, we're just here to talk about our shows and why
But
we liked or didn't like about Adult Swim. So
yeah, I do just want to bring that up because I mean, as a kid, it's you don't think about that type of stuff,
and of course we can't talk about all the shows. Oh my god, that would take too long.
yeah, that this is this is just a reflection on all this stuff. But continuing on, another one me and my friends loved, um, Birdman.
Hey, Fulf. Hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah, yeah.
Get that thing I sent you?
What thing?
You know, the thing I sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't get that thing I sent you?
I didn't get anything.
I fucking love this show.
My favorite episode that I can remember off the top of my head is the one of Secret Squirrel getting in trouble.
Oh yeah,
of,
because he's
the plastic.
Flash. And like, I was doing that joke, but my favorite joke surrounding that is like, Harvey's just having an awful freaking time, and he's just like, you hear him just peek over the stall. Hey Harvey, did you get that thing I sent you? And he just snaps like, no, I didn't get that thing I sent you. I don't think I'll ever get that thing I sent you. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder if you even sent anything at all. So no, I did not get that thing you sent me. And you just hear him start to cry in the other stall.
Yeah, that show brought like, I love that they used all those characters that they had the rights to use and stuff in such a silly way.
And I mean, all the freaking judges, like the freaking Mind Taker. He. Okay, next case.
That's one I need to rewatch to like refresh myself on, but kind of like we did last time when you visited me and we watched through all of C-Lab.
Yes.
Well, not all of it, but most of C-Lab.
Yeah, like, oh god, weren't we just repeatedly saying Bizarro after we watched that too?
My dad used to say that to me. Oh my god! After that episode, dude, my dad would just be like, "Bizarro, Bizarro, I love you."
Bizarro, I love you, Bizarro.
If you ever get to meet my actual, like, my biological dad, you will fucking like understand immediately where a lot of my humor comes from.
Oh my god.
I should actually have you come to Louisiana with me to visit sometime.
Why not?
That would be fun. You get a kick out of my dad.
You know, we got to talking about all these shows, and yet we haven't even bothered to talk about Aqua Teen Hunger Force yet.
Yeah, Aqua Teen. God, it lasted for so fucking long, and then it's back.
It's still going. Like,
It's back.
and
I mean,
good. It's such a good show.
I guess it's not back, but it's back as a short series on
Aqua
YouTube.
Donk.
Yeah, and I always like get surprised when like, oh, there's been more of them, and I get excited. There was another one the other day with Hand Banana, like another one with Hand Banana the other day, and I was like, oh my god.
Where he freaking shoved Gorilla Glue up his ass.
And Banana's just like, who's that out there? And like, that's just Shake.
Who's that
It was
tall
like-
drink out there?
Like, did you want some fries to go with that Shake?
Wait, they want how much to get ready your bits and jewels? Ah, screw it. How much do you got left on your life?
God, yeah,
It's
Aquadunk is.
like Aqua
great.
Teen itself is just like it's such a simple show. Like the backgrounds are so simple, like it's almost copy and paste. Like all the movements are basic, all the characters like you could move in a slideshow basically, but the jokes and the voices are so good that it just sells it so well.
I remember the first time I watched the Aqua Teen movie.
Oh, was this the April Fool's part?
No, we're talking about the actual like. Yeah, no. I went to a friend's house and we actually just watched the like. They were like, "Have you watched the Aqua Teen movie yet?" And like, no. Like, so they put it on and we watched it, and we were inebriated. And we're sitting there watching it, and laughing, and then we get to the part where it's like where Carl's in like the workout machine, and my friend goes, "Stop the show," and we're like, "What?" And we're like, he's like, "Rewind it. I have to hear something." He goes back, and he like listens close. He's like, "The music is singing, 'I like your booty, but I'm not gay.'" and we like that was the first time we noticed what the song was actually singing. And we like listened, we're like, and then all of us were like, "I like your booty, but I'm not gay, not gay. I like you." And like, oh my god, that's like a memory that I have of that movie because we just thought it was the funniest friggin' thing.
I gotta know, who's your favorite character?
An Aqua Teen?
Yes.
That's a weird one to ask me because
It's a tough one.
I find them all funny, but I don't know if I have a character. Dr. Weird.
Oh, that's a clever pick.
Dr. fucking Weird. Specifically, gentlemen, my ass has finally decided to eat my hand. It hungers for more. That's probably my favorite moment of all of Aqua Teen.
I'm going the easier route. I gotta go with Meatwad.
Oh, it just reminded me too in one of those recent Aquadunk episodes. Like, do you figure out why things explode when you throw them? Like,
Yes!
no. They're like, no. Like, watch this, and they just keep throwing things. They're like, oh. And then Meatwad throws Shake and Shake explodes.
There can be only one.
Oh. We can talk about Aqua Teen forever, but so I wanna.
Yeah, well, I
if you
mean, Aqua Teen Forever is a whole different season.
If you have any final thoughts on Aqua Teen, go for it. And then I want to move on to.
I think if we want to keep this rolling, we should probably yeah.
So. I mean, we could talk. Oh gosh, I mean, we could go on about Venture Brothers. That's gonna be another like 20-minute conversation if we go into that.
With Venture Brothers, I still need to watch through it all. Like, I've seen bits of it, and I love the bits because the Monarch is fucking amazing.
Why don't we okay, why don't we cycle back on Venture Brothers in like another podcast? Why don't we like watch
Yeah.
Venture Brothers? Like we each watch Venture Brothers and just have like a Venture Brothers appreciation episode.
Yeah, why not?
We can do that eventually. But I want to talk about Tom Goes to the Mayor.
You want to know what? While we're talking about this, let's also just throw in Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job.
Yeah, no, that's where I want to go with this because I loved Tom Goes to the Mayor specifically. I love the Rats Off to You episode,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
but I also just loved Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Like that shit was like my jam.
I could never get into it. Like, the only thing I remember from Tom Goes to the Mayor is the weird close up whenever he was eating cheese fries. That's the only part I can remember. And then,
See, and that's
oh yeah,
the thing I have to say about like Tim and Eric, like in general, is that their humor is very hit or miss for people.
yeah.
Like you're going to find everything that they do absolutely hilarious, absolutely gross, or you're just not going to find it funny at all. I'm of the camp that it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
There was one joke from Tim and Eric that did actually get a good chuckle out of me, and that's when they advertised the board game. Is it Jackie Chan or Don't Say Jackie Chan?
I love all of those like commercials.
What was the name of their fake company again? Like in every what was it?
Go.
Oh, that was it. Yep.
The very first episode, they had they started one of the little commercials with like a guy standing there and like a little guy comes in, punches him in the balls. And he just like holds his hands up and spins away, and the guy's like, "Oh, Cinco, it happened again." And it's like a commercial for ball insurance.
What? I just could never get it, and yet they are one of the biggest icons in Adult Swim.
They're so it's like their humor is so specific to a certain crowd of people.
It's like, I'm never against random humor. This humor is just so random. I just don't get it.
But like I love their songs. I love the little weird commercials. I love all the weird Cinco toys like Bowel.
Oh God.
Half bat, half owl. or turd. Or turd, which was the turtle frisbee. Like they're just like, are you tired of spending your whole day playing like, and they're just like, or what they call it, like flying disc or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and
because
like,
they can't say frisbee.
And it's like him and his like the guy and his wife are sitting there throwing it back and forth, and they look so annoyed that they're doing this. Like they could just put it down, and then they get like they get turd, which is the throwing disc frisbee, and they like throw it, and the whole episode is like, you can get so much done, and well, turd slowly crawls back to you.
Another one I can remember from that show is like, I can't remember his name, but it was like some spaghetti or was his name, where he just jumped out at people behind walls and they weren't even surprised or anything. It was like a prank show.
Spaghetti. And then another one I loved was Shrimp and White Wine.
Oh my God.
But I gotta talk about the best, the absolute best. And not just because, like, it was on Tim and Eric, but because I just fucking love the actor in general. But Steve Brule.
I was going to bring it up. I was hoping you would bring up the whole Brule's Rules and how he got his own show.
Love Steve Brule. And just because I love, God, why can't I remember his name right now? He's literally one of my favorite actors.
I just couldn't get it. I did not understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody.
And yet at the same time, I feel comfortable saying this is the exact feel of Adult Swim, is whatever Tim and Eric bring out. This is what you can expect Adult Swim to feel
John
like.
C. Reilly, that's his name. John C. Reilly.
There you go.
Love that dude. He is so funny.
Oh God, it sounds like you could ramble on with Tim and Eric for a while.
I could. Just there's been so many shows on that, and there's a lot of them I haven't really watched or didn't really get into.
One I want to bring up is, have you seen 12 Ounce Mouse?
I actually never watched it.
It's really weird. Like, there are certain shows on Adult Swim where I could basically say they were on drugs when they made this. This is one of them, because it literally looks like they hand drew all these circles and they didn't know how to draw a circle. And everything's in a I just didn't get it. But
there was a really weird like era of Adult Swim where just some really really extra weird stuff like Children's Hospital.
oh my god. I never got into the live action stuff with Adult Swim.
Yeah, it like some of those were like really really weird, but
Children's Hospital, Relocated, oh god, there was
Delocated.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I never really watched that
NTSFSD
one.
SUV.
I didn't even like know about that one until like I was looking at stuff. I was like, "What the? I've never heard of that."
It kind of just felt like stuff you could see off of YouTube, is what it kind of felt like with those ones.
China, Illinois was a interesting show.
I like that show. I don't.
do too. I specifically, there was one season where their commercial for the season.
China, Illinois, China, Illinois, China, Illinois.
No. So back like, and this was back when I worked at like I was working at GameStop, and me and my entire like I got my entire staff singing it. Would just be like, "Get your ass back to school, back to China, Illinois."
The other song.
Back to China, Illinois. Yeah, and like the whole like little rap bit too. Like we used to sing that all the time.
It's funny, we can talk about the song, but I can't remember anything from the show.
I remember the one episode where the guy couldn't figure out how to masturbate. So he ran around like with doing like the jerk off motion and like breaking all kind of stuff, and he like couldn't figure out what to do or what was going on, or like it's like his hormones were going crazy, and that was the whole episode.
Oh my.
And
Oh yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, you were up.
No, I was gonna move on.
Well, one show that I kind of want to talk about, but I don't want to get into too much detail of it. Have you watched Moral Oral?
Yes.
So
What's funny about that show too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like more oral,
yeah,
is I know you've been talking about it a lot to me, but like as well. But like I see so many YouTube videos about it lately.
I'm actually in the works on doing something about the show, so I'm not gonna like get too descriptive because I've been working on that. But this show, holy hell! Like, to put it bluntly, this show was supposed to have 4 seasons, but Adult Swim saw 1 episode in the 3rd season and was like, oh, this is too dark. We can't keep doing this.
I say we go into one more, just very lightly,
Yeah.
before we start winding down, because we're hitting like the
Yeah,
hitting,
we'll see where this goes.
the 15-minute mark. But Boondocks, man,
Boondocks is like,
the
I
Boondocks.
love it looks so crass and poorly made, but when you actually watch it, it's like, oh my god, I know people that are exactly like this.
Yeah, I love that show. It really hits on a lot, and it's so funny too.
This was
It hits
also
on
a
a lot.
dream.
It's so funny, and I just
The first episode still cracks me up, where it's like you see like him getting made and everything. I can't remember his name. What's the son?
there was Huey and what's the other one? Frickety. It's Huey and
Wait, what show
try
are we
my
talking about?
best. There was Huey and Riley.
Oh, we're talking about the Boondocks. Oh god, I
Yeah.
missed. Okay, yeah, Boondocks, different story. Okay, but yeah, like same things apply. Yeah,
What did you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about Squidbillies for some reason.
Oh no, Squidbillies a whole.
Yeah. Anyway, Boondocks. Yes, I love that show.
Yeah, Boondocks was great. That intro theme song kicks. I love it.
It's one of the shows I love to watch, but I do not feel safe watching it without a low volume.
Nah, man, you shouldn't feel bad about watching that. That's like ever. That is a show made by a black creator who deserves recognition for what he did.
For sure.
Show.
It's just one of those things where it's like, if anyone heard some of this stuff through the walls, I might get in trouble.
Nah. There's nothing wrong with this, like, people enjoying that type of stuff. Like,
so that means you want to talk about
any
Uncle
race.
Ruckus then, right?
Yeah. No, it's nothing wrong with anybody of any race enjoying that type of stuff, especially if it actually brings to light a lot of, like, problems and...
Well, it's not so much like the message and everything that's said in it that I feel would cause sparks. It's the fact that they really like a certain word that I am not going to repeat because I am not going to get in trouble.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to go into the logistics of that word and why we shouldn't say it and why.
Yeah, let's not dig too deep into it. But the Boondocks itself, it's also just a fun show, and my God, it is some of the funniest moments too. Like an episode that sticks out in my mind is just when Martin Luther King wakes up.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
And plus, anything with Grandpa, rest in peace, was just great.
Yep.
Because he just always wanted to whoop someone's ass.
That being said, yeah, no, like I never really watched a lot of the later stuff.
I heard the last season was kind of bad.
No, I watched all of that, but I mean, like, I didn't watch, like, even, like, Mike Tyson Mysteries, which I actually really want to watch.
I love Mike Tyson Mysteries! Oh my God, one of the best jokes from that show. I love that show so much. And it's just like, it's a joke that sticks in my mind. It's when Pigeon is walking with the ghost and they're just randomly having a conversation. It's like, hey, have you ever realized something? What? That's Mike fucking Tyson. Like, he could just randomly snap one day, and he was just straight up kill you. He will break your neck in one punch. And I'm just a pigeon, man. He can just step on me. I never thought about that before. Yeah, me neither until today.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love that show so much. It has so... And there's even one I quote nonstop where Mike Tyson's all about his fight or flight senses. And he's just randomly punching people in a mall, just screaming, sorry, fight or flight, fight or flight. And he's just walking up an escalator. He just scoots by a grandma. Excuse me, ma'am, fight or flight. And he just runs back down the escalator and knocks her out.
Yeah, I've seen that scene and it's so fucking funny.
Oh, it is such a good show. And the fact that Mike Tyson actually voices in it, like, he's in with the jokes.
Yeah. But we are getting towards the end of this episode, so it's time to move into our what's going to be our end of the podcast segment, I believe, from...
Heck, we might have to do a second episode about Adult Swim at some point, but man...
I think specifically we should do an episode of which one did we say we were going to go back through? Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers, we have that. We have the animes they would do. We have the stuff they brought in. Like, Adult Swim was such a small entity that grew to be very big, and I loved it. I loved just watching it. Getting all excited as a kid, turning it on, and getting to watch a few cartoons, and then getting annoyed that anime popped up after, except for Detective Conan. I would always stay up to watch that.
Yep. But yeah, so moving into our last segment, this is going to be our ongoing final segment of the podcast.
You know
we are going to try to keep doing this podcast. We can't promise right now that it's going to be, weekly.
Well, don't scare them like that.
We do want to do it as often as we do want to do it often. We just don't know when we're gonna get it out until we get like really down to stuff. This is kind of our pilot episode too. Um, and of course we'll grow. Production will go up and up as we learn and grow. But our final segment is we're calling Media and We.
Oh, I didn't sign off on that, but I guess we're pulling with it.
You totally loved it.
I have no contractual proof of that.
Let me go get that quote real quick from you.
So anyway, Media and We.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about things that we've seen recently, and just give kind of a quick overview of it. And like, we're not gonna spend a whole lot of information, but we're just gonna give a quick little talk about it, and then, we'll say goodbye. So,
Yeah.
so Fiend, do you want to go first on this one, or?
Well, I guess I suppose I should. Today on Media and We, for my half of the segment, I can go into details of what I have been doing involving movies, TV, or video games myself. For me in particular, I have been enjoying rewatching through a very popular Netflix series known as BoJack Horseman. And I gotta say, oh my god, I can make a whole podcast about that show itself, but oh my god, I love that show so much. It is my favorite show of all time. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love rewatching it, and I love feeling depressed in the middle of it. I've also, basically I've been watching that. I've also been rewatching some old stuff on the HBO, such as rewatching old Cartoon Network blogs like Ed and Nettie, mentioned watching The Bragg Show, going through Moral Oral, just, some little bits here and there just to make for good white noise that may or may not leave bad memories. As for video games, myself, I've been getting back into Wingspan. Like, it's such a chill game, and it's just a game where you play through it, you make birds, and you just end the game, and it's like, huh, I won. Next
You gotta
game.
say, I had a blast of just idly playing that with you last night.
It's such a relaxing game. Just like you're playing it, but you don't feel competitive. It's just, if I win, next round. Then I've also been playing a little game off of Steam called Peglin. And if you like Peggle, it's a roguelike Peggle. It sounds
Really?
dumb, but it's so addicting and fun. And the little goblin character you play is just absolutely cute. And that basically sums it up for me.
Well, over the last few weeks, I've been watching. The other night, I couldn't find anything on the old YouTube that I wanted to watch, so I finally decided that I was just gonna finally watch Harley Quinn.
I've been yelling at you to do that.
I've been wanting to for so long, and I was like trying to get people to watch it with me because I like watching things like that in a group and stuff. But it was really hard to get people together to watch it at the time, or to watch it. And I finally just said, okay, I'm just gonna watch it by myself. And I love that show so much.
You've been quoting
my-
Kite Man for the past week.
Hell yeah. Kite Man's funny. I love Harley. I love one of my favorite quotes in that entire series so far is, "Where's my electric car, Bruce?" Like, it's so good. And then
I've-
here's another show that I forced Fiend to start watching because I watched a couple episodes and immediately fell in love with it. Was Spy X Family.
Don't you dare say forced, because I told you that was on my list.
I know, but by forced I mean you were like, "But I'm watching other things." I'm like, "No, Fiend, you can do this. It's right. There's only 2 episodes right now. They're 20 minutes each. Go watch them."
I
And
find
you
it
were like,
funny how much you distort my
Why?
words. I said I just need to finish watching what I'm watching, because I don't like leaving something in the middle to just drop and go to something. It's like I had to finish what I was doing first. I was going to watch it.
Right. But it wasn't on your immediately watch list.
I
Until
told you it was.
No, I mean like you weren't gonna watch it that night.
Well, not that.
Until I was
You
like, "Hey,
sent
watch
that
it."
message at 3 a.m.
Doesn't matter. You were still up. Either way.
Barely.
Either way. I always wanted to watch that anime or read the manga. The anime started coming up. It's so good. If you watch any of the current like season of anime that's coming out, watch that.
It
Um,
it's funny and it gives you the warm fuzzies.
yep. Another series that I watched both seasons of recently was Jobless Resurrection, which is an isekai. Um,
Hmm,
it's actually pretty good. It's got some weird horny moments.
that's anime.
But yeah, it's anime, but it's got a really well put together story, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, heck, you're talking about Spy X Family, and it's like that has horny moments. Like, if there's a sharp object, there's gonna be a horny moment.
It's Spy X Family's not as horny as a lot of other things. It's more wholesome than anything.
Do you not notice her reaction whenever she sees something sharp?
That's different. That's not like some of the other stuff that like just it's not like
It's not
overbearing.
it's not
like
fan
focused.
service horny. It's the character is getting horny.
Yeah. But either way, great series. Yeah, no, like playing Wingspan again is good. Midnight Ghost Hunt has been a game that I've been playing a good bit lately. I actually kind of it probably will die at some point, but right now it's kind of like a current like mild hotness that
Die because it's hunting ghosts. But
but I'm having a lot of fun with that. Having a lot of fun with that one, and then Fiend and I and some other friends that like were pretty into Tower Unite. Uh, Still like to hop on there once in a while, just play in the arcade here and there. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's been a fun one to just be able to idly go in, just sit, play some mini golf or bowling, or go just sit in the arcade and sit at the coin pushers or something, and just Fiend and I will just go sit at coin pushers and just chat.
I mean, that's
Like,
basically what we do in real life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not a lie. Um, yeah, so that's the media I've been consuming lately.
I am curious. Are you going to see the new Doctor Strange movie?
Probably not in theaters. Probably
Damn.
wait till it comes out.
Oh man, because I'm going to be seeing it next week, and that means I can't get too into detail of it next time.
I don't like. I'm still not comfortable going to movie theaters. I don't like right now, even with the mask. I have enough trouble like with my Tourette's and stuff. Even just like
Yeah.
and having to sit still in a movie theater and it's tough because of my ADD. It's not. I can do it, but it's actually like a kind of a tough. It's kind of tough for me to just sit and watch a movie and focus on a movie, and that's what I have to do at a movie theater.
Yeah,
So
and for me, movie theaters are like my happy place. I love being in a movie theater. I get comfortable so fast whenever I just get sat down, see the big screen, munching on my popcorn before the movie even starts. Just
yeah.
it's so comfortable for me.
If it's a show or a movie, if it's a movie that I really am really excited about, and I don't want to have to wait till it comes out on like on a streaming service or something, then I will go see it. But even then, I'm not gonna really do that until like the pandemic is like way more clear than it is now.
That's fair.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, we've just about hit the hour mark, I think. And this was our first episode.
Man, it's crazy what we didn't even get to talk about with like the Adult Swim stuff. We didn't get to talk about stuff like we didn't mention Metalocalypse, which is awesome. We didn't get to mention Xavier, Renegade Angel. Heck, we didn't even bring up Rick and Morty. Like we had so many things that we missed out on talking
Yeah,
about.
I mean, and they might come up in other episodes.
Oh God,
different
yeah.
things. We've
Like
got
heck,
we've our next podcast will hopefully be not too far away.
yeah,
But yeah, no, hopefully y'all enjoy this and
yeah, because
give
like
you some
we will be doing a part
background
2 about Adult Swim, but not right away.
potentially. I'm actually like there's not a whole lot more specific Adult Swim shows. that I can that we haven't touched on that I can go into about too much?
But we can talk about the anime or even like
That's true, but
April Fool's jokes they do.
we could do. I mean, yeah, we could just do a Toonami episode.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that off mic. And yeah, no, like I'm glad we're doing this. I hope y'all like it. We're gonna grow and develop as we go. Hopefully, you know, eventually we can get some better equipment for some better recording quality, stuff like that. But yeah, anybody that's listens to this, we super appreciate it, and just stick with us.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes, because we just ramble about random stuff sometimes, and we figured, you know, what if the public are around to listen and judge it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the Peace of Mind Mod podcast, and it was glad to have you all here listening to us ramble, talk about popcorn, talk about Adult Swim, and we can't wait to give you another bit of rambling in the next one.
Yeah. Lots of rambling.
For now, I think it's safe to say we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye-bye.